So I see a lot of negativity when people talk about in general about online Facebook and online communities. And yes, there is 100% awful things that go online. 100%, and there's toxic environments, and they can lead to people not socializing. But online has been such a great experience for me and many autistic people. But I've heard similar stories from LGBTQ plus folks and many people because for a lot of people in the disabled community, neurodivergence, I know from personally, but I've heard about it from some other adjacent communities like the LGBTQ plus, which I can see where it comes from, is that we're not always born into our community in the same way other people have. We're not born into. It's not a national identity you're born into. It's not a religious identity you're born into with your parents being it. It's not a. It's not like you're a racial minority that you're born into a family with it. You have to find yourself, that community you're part of, and that community is out there, but it's more spread out. It is oftentimes harder. Sometimes people are more afraid to show it in public because it's something you can hide a little bit your identity to with all these to some extent, but not always fully. Sometimes it's quite obvious and hard, but to some extent you can hide it, and people might not want to be upfront and open about it. But online, people are more likely to be open about it because they can do it to an on-off or more controlled environment. They can find out. It's easier to find people because they don't have to go up to people and ask questions. They can just look up autistic community. They can find it through memes and lighthearted conversations. So you have that huge advantage for all these communities that way. And it can be a lot safer than in person when you can be attacked physically or something like that. The other thing is that a lot of us have issues with being in public spaces. Some of us have mobility issues if you're talking about disability, but some of us have executive issues that makes it hard to schedule or figure out times and stuff like that. Some of us have auditory processing or communication issues that online is so much easier for people to understand each other through text or real environments are overloading or something like that. And all this makes online community so much better because it's such a more controlled platform for us that we can be ourselves and express ourselves in so much better ways, even if we're confined to our house, and find this information and look it up. And that's not something that people talk about, oh, that person's always on the phone or not communicating, something they forget. They could be socializing, they could have a whole social life in there. And then we shouldn't always just take away phones or screens from kids saying it's bad. Maybe they are discovering themselves online because they're relating to people that you don't have experience with or something. Or maybe it's the only way they can talk. Maybe they have trouble speaking out loud or expressing themselves, but online they can express themselves with text messages easier. I'm not saying but the whole problem with this is that online there's also so many toxic things, and particularly the bad thing online. I think the worst thing is all the deception that occurs online in marketing. You see grown-up adults that get pulled in by all these fake advertisements or fake conspiracy theories that are online. A ton of them every day. And you're expecting a child to just understand what's real or not real online on YouTube, Facebook, or social media. They could easily be drawn to fake information. And I don't fully know how to fix that problem for someone, especially someone that is questioning about any part of their identity and how toxic that can be. I do think we need to really get rid of advertisements online in a lot of media platforms and stuff that's more meant for kids. I think we need to be a lot more careful how we put advertisements. There are rules and regulations against that with the FTC saying you know how to advertise to children unless you clearly market blah blah blah. It's almost never enforced. I mean, that's reality. The enforcements are really bad, and when it's enforced, people continue to do it because they just have enough money to pay the bills. how do we get rid of conspiracy theories? I mean, you can always talk about more fact checkers. We should hold people accountable, but it's really hard. I think one of the best things you can personally do is speak out against all these awful things and conspiracy theories. But with parents or adults raising kids, I just don't know a good solution. And it's awful. I mean, I can say controlled environments, but the more controlled environment a kid grows up in, the less likely to exposed to autistic or ADHD or other adults that are like them. And it's awful, and I just don't know with that stuff. Well, thank you for listening to this quick talk about online media and why it's really important for a lot of social things. If you have any ideas how to fix these problems or want to discuss it, please leave in the comment section below or DM me. I'm also trying to reach 1,000 subscribers within a year, which is a really, really hard goal. But with your help, I think I can do it. Thank you very much. Goodbye.